Hi, bookies. Today, we dive into the mystery of murder on the Orient Express. Get ready to explore Agatha Christie's classic thriller. Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie is a classic mystery that takes place on a luxury train traveling through Europe. The story revolves around a famous detective, Hercule Poirot, who is drawn into a complex murder case while on board. The setup: Poirot, a world-renowned Belgian detective, is heading back to London after solving a case in the Middle East. He boards the Orient Express, a lavish train running from Istanbul to Calais, expecting a quiet and relaxing journey. However, he quickly realizes this trip will be anything but peaceful. During the first part of the journey, Poirot meets a rich but unpleasant American named Samuel Ratchet. Ratchet tries to hire Poirot as his bodyguard, claiming that his life is in danger. He has been receiving threatening letters, and it seems someone wants him dead. However, Poirot turns him down, instinctively feeling that Ratchet is not a man he wants to help. Things take a dark turn when, the next morning, Ratchet is found dead in his compartment. He's been brutally stabbed multiple times during the night. The train has been stopped in its tracks by a heavy snowstorm, leaving everyone stranded and, as Poirot quickly realizes, trapped with the murderer on board. The investigation begins. With no police available and no one able to leave the train, Poirot is asked by his friend M. Book, who is in charge of the train company, to solve the mystery. He teams up with Dr. Constantine, a Greek doctor, to examine Ratchet's body. The victim has 12 stab wounds, but the strange thing is that some of the wounds are deep and strong, while others are weak and barely break the skin. It's almost as if the attack was carried out by multiple people, each with a different level of strength. Poirot also finds some puzzling clues in Ratchet's compartment. A burned note with the name Daisy Armstrong, still visible. A woman's handkerchief with the letter H embroidered on it. A pipe cleaner, and a conductor's uniform button. These odd clues make the case even more complicated, and Poirot starts wondering if these items were deliberately planted to confuse him. The Armstrong case. The burned note leads Poirot to a crucial discovery. Samuel Ratchet is not who he says he is. His real identity is Cassetti, a notorious gangster responsible for the kidnapping and murder of a little girl named Daisy Armstrong in America several years earlier. The Armstrong family paid a ransom, but Cassetti killed the child anyway. The crime devastated the Armstrong family, leading to the deaths of Daisy's mother, who died in childbirth, and her father, who took his own life out of grief. Realizing that this murder could be connected to the Armstrong case, Poirot shifts his focus. It's likely that someone on the train had a motive for revenge. The suspects. Poirot begins interviewing all the passengers. As he speaks to them, each one provides an alibi for the night of the murder, and they all claim not to know Ratchet personally. However, small details begin to emerge that connect each of them to the Armstrong family in some way. Here's a quick rundown of the passengers and their hidden connections. Mary Debenham, a calm and reserved British woman, turns out to be Daisy Armstrong's governess. Colonel Arbuthnot, a British Army officer, was a close friend of Colonel Armstrong, Daisy's father. Princess Dragomirov, an elderly Russian aristocrat, was the godmother of Daisy's mother. Hector McQueen, Ratchet's secretary, reveals that his father was the Armstrong family's lawyer. Mrs. Hubbard, a loud and overly dramatic American woman, is actually Daisy's grandmother, Linda Arden, a famous actress. Greta Olsen, a Swedish nurse, cared for little Daisy as a child. Count and Countess Andrenii, a Hungarian noble couple, are also involved. Countess Andrenii is actually Helena, Daisy's aunt. As Poirot continues to investigate, he uncovers that every single passenger has a direct or indirect connection to the Armstrong family. Each one of them had a motive to kill Cassetti, who destroyed their lives through his heinous crime. The solution. Poirot puts all the pieces together and presents two possible explanations. First solution. A stranger sneaked aboard the train, murdered Ratchet, and disappeared into the night. This is a simple, but unlikely theory, given the clues. Second solution. This is the real one. Everyone on the train took part in the murder. All of the passengers, connected by their shared desire for revenge against Cassetti, conspired to kill him. Each of them took turns stabbing Ratchet, which explains why some of the wounds are deep and others are shallow. They acted together to deliver their own form of justice since the legal system had failed them. Ratchet's murder was a carefully planned act of collective vengeance. The crime wasn't committed by a single person but by a group of people, all of whom had lost something or someone because of Cassetti's evil actions. The ending. After revealing this shocking truth, Poirot gives M. Book and Dr. Constantine the choice of which solution to report to the authorities. They can either present the first explanation, blaming an unknown outsider for the murder and sparing the passengers, or they can tell the truth about the collective murder. Book, sympathizing with the passengers and their quest for justice, chooses the first option. The passengers are allowed to go free, and the case is officially closed. Poirot, having solved the case, leaves the train with a sense of satisfaction, knowing that justice, though unconventional, has been served.